Today, I'm going to tell you something that's the most important thing that you could ever know about yourself. Are you excited? I hope so, because it's a brand new day. I'm so glad you're here. So let's get started on today's Road Report. So I wanted to tell you something about yourself that I don't know if anybody's ever told you this. And we've talked a lot about how things are in reverse and what's up is down and down is up. And one of the most important things I've heard myself when talking with you that I have not shared clearly is this is another one of those great inversion secrets. Is one of the things that I talk about is who you are versus what you do as your real purpose in life. But what I forgot to mention, and this is the most important thing, is we have this idea that we're going out to become something that we lack, something that we're not. And here is one of the great secrets to our life here in this world. We actually are all these good things. What we're doing is we're not going out and figuring out how to be it, do it, or get it. The work is how do we get the stuff out of the way that allows our true self to come through. And that is, that is good news and that is bad news. It doesn't change anything in terms of your day-to-day, but it's important to remember that as a perspective because I want you to have a wonderful, fabulous life and to be wildly successful. This idea that there's something that's lacking that you don't have, let's get rid of that. So it's not about this idea I have to go become something. Rather, this is who I am. What do I need to do to get out of my own way to allow my true self to come forth? That is our big vision idea for today. So let's break it down to the strategy. And so I think the simplest way to talk about this big idea about who you really are versus who you're trying to become in terms of a strategy is to really think about who do you want to be. Most of us focus on what we don't want. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be poor. And it's not as simple as saying I am. There's a lot of beliefs that get in our way about why we don't allow ourselves to be fully and absolutely who we are meant to be. Usually those come in the form of childhood belief systems that get put into place. And that's our work. Our work isn't to blame or point fingers. Our work is to get grown up, take control of our life, and start leading it to the direction that we want to. So the strategy around this big idea of who am I, remembering who I am, is to really figure out who do you want to be? And that is the way to crack that nut. So for the Lead Your Life portion in the next 24 hours, one of the easiest things to do to really get clear about who you want to be and what your big vision idea is to find somebody that you admire. Who is a person, past, present, or future? It could be a makeup person. Who do you know that really represents the qualities of what you feel like you're striving for or trying to achieve? Because number one, it reinforces the idea that it's possible. The real goal here is to lead your life one day at a time, but you still have to figure out the tiny little steps that go with that. So one of the things I think that's really important, and then we seem to be losing, we're going on two directions. Oh, I'm going to take that back. That's going to be today's challenge. Okay, I know you're waiting with bated breath. So for today's challenge, I would like to say pick who you want to be and then think about how would that person get dressed. And I don't mean in a superficial way, but I also know that even though we are not our bodies in that sense, when we look in the mirror, I got to tell you, like looking in these videos, it's a huge eye-opener about how we present to the world. And the energy comes through that. So when you feel crummy about yourself, you look kind of crummy. Or you go to the other extreme and you wear tons of makeup and expensive clothes, things like that. So for today's challenge, who would your ideal self be and what would they wear? And do you own any of those clothes or items? All right, so we're wrapping it all together. I just really wanted to remind you that it's not a journey to figure out who you need to be and what you need to do as your purpose. Our real work is to figure out how to get out of our own way. And so as you think about that today, how can I get out of my own way? Just don't get mad at yourself. Just allow yourself to remember you don't really have to do anything because you are enough. Like I said, I think there's two things that we're doing in the world. One is we have to remember who we are, and two, we have to survive the process of being here. So let's survive it in a way in which we're happy and productive in the world, because I think when we do that, everyone wins. And that is today's Road Report. So you can always find me at jillelizabeth.net, and we will yet again see you next time.